Hello, hello, salut. I am the Rasta Witch. Here's where we learn the way of the Yan Sui Rasta, which is to say, my kind of Ital. Please subscribe and begin your own kind of Yan Sui witchcraft. All roads lead to Rome. Home. Hi, how you doing? Okay, so this video belongs to the playlist about tarot. So hopefully you've been going through like the aces of all the different wands, cups, swords, pentacles, the twos, eight wands, cups, swords, pentacles, the threes, the fours, the fives, the six, the sevens, and the eights. So this video is it's about the polarities, about how the Qabalah, and again the Qabalah, the tarot, the occult, it's all the same thing. Um, the Kabbalah, it's a system with the Sephirot where you can, uh, it's a tool for learning how to kind of be healthy in your mind. So you do that by balancing the polarities. So, when we did numbers 3 and 4, I'm sorry, when we did numbers 2 and 3, what the hell? I'm like, why does that feel wrong? When we did the numbers 2 and 3, which were above the abyss, that was the polarity above the abyss. And then so everything above the abyss is like beyond our understanding. We can try to put it into words, but it's beyond that. And number 2, which is kokma, which means wisdom, and number 3, which is bina, which means understanding. You got so 2 and 3. So you've got like number 1 is white, number 2 is gray, and number 3 is black. So white, number 1, it's so far above the abyss that at the very top of the Sephiroth that it's beyond every understanding and everything. And so white is none of the colors. Because colors are kind of like words. You're starting to put it together. And then Bina, number 3, is black. Black is all of the colors. So Bina means understanding. So it's kind of like the spirit of unifying everything through understanding. And it's the feminine side of the polarity above the abyss. And then Kokma, number 2, is gray. Gray, of course, is what's in between black and white. So it's in between that. So you have that polarity above the abyss that's number 2 and number 3, gray and black. And it's been going from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3, from the crown to wisdom, and with wisdom you're adding in a little bit more, and like I always say, like there's something in space. If there's one thing in space, it's neither big nor far, close nor near or anything else. You have two, it still really isn't. With just two things floating in outer space, there still isn't really such a thing as big or near, far, small, or anything like that. It doesn't really tell you have two that three that you've really got something. So two is a little bit further. Number 1 doesn't have a gender, it doesn't have a color, it doesn't have anything. It's just like beyond all anything we could use to describe it. Number 2 is the first thing, and it's a masculine energy. It's wisdom. So by trying, and it's of course the numbers, it's the pathway of creating things. So to go from number 1 to number 2 means that you've started adding wisdom, because you're trying to go down the tree, to make something manifest, an idea, which was at number 1, manifest. So the first thing you would need to do, the first thing that happens really is it goes to wisdom, and this is across the abyss, so it's still kind of beyond us. And then understanding, bina. So basically, so you have that polarity. So if what you're describing as across the abyss, whether you're atheist or not, if you believe in God, then they're how you describe God. If they're If it's like all wisdom and no understanding, that's out of balance. But if it's all understanding without any wisdom, then that's out of balance. So that's balanced up there. And the pathway that connects those is the Empress card, which is Mother Nature, Roman numeral 3. So of course Mother Nature is Mother Earth is the universe, is that, like how people say the universe loves me and things like that. The Mother Earth connects that. So those are all very divine things. Then you go from number 3 to number 4, and you start the feminine side. It switches. Now the feminine side's over here. Number 4. And now you've taken, and number 4, of course, the tetragram YHWH, Yahweh, fire, water, air, and earth. It's the last letter, because now you've brought it down to the word Yahweh. And then they say that nobody knows how to properly pronounce Yahweh, because number 1, 2, and 3 is across the abyss. It's beyond us, but we've pulled it into number 4, So now we've made it a word, Yahweh, and that's number 4, and that means mercy. So, and it forms the upper polarity of the archetypes, because the archetypes are our best. Now we have to have a God with a face and with a name and with all the different things that we got to do. Now we can start doing that. We've got number 4, which is beyond us. Really, it's the archetype. It's above us, but it's still created by us. Because it's on this side of the abyss. And then number 5 is Jabura, which means strength. So mercy and strength. So if your archetypes are all mercy, that's out of balance. If you're God, your concept of what's divine, or if you're atheist, your concept of higher things is all mercy. That's no good. That's not a really healthy archetype vision. An archetype. But then, so you have to balance it with strength. If it's all strength, I think of kind of like on Conan, where he's like all Crom, Crom doesn't have mercy for anyone. Crom is all strength and rules everything. And that's what I admire. That's good. That is good. All those things are good in an archetype, but it's out of balance and not healthy unless it's got mercy, So the archetype has to be a balance. And then 6 is the self, and then you go to number 7, Netzach, and number 8, which is Chod, H-O-D, Chod. And Netzach is your feelings and emotions, and Chod, it means victory in Hebrew, and then Chod is like your thinking. So like and that's your lower polarity. So that's below the self. So this one is really a big one. Because all the other polarities are kind of beyond us, but we have some control through our understanding, But Netzach and Chad, we want that balance. So an example of that is if someone's all emotions, like, the things they talk about, the things they think, the things they like, the things that they describe themselves as, the things they self-identify with, if everything about them is all emotion and all feminine energy, that person's couldn't be very healthy, because that's out of balance. But then again, if someone's all intellectual, Chad, number 8, and they're all thinking and they're all intellectual and they're all logical and everything, that's out of balance. It's like, you add some emotion, man. See, so the healthy thing would be a help to make you and your energy, the energy of you, the things you talk about, think about, do, everything about you, that you believe about yourself, that you identify about yourself, it needs to be healthy, a healthy balance of feeling and imagination, and the victory of Netzach, number 7, and number 8, Chad. See, so you got those 3 polarities: the polarity above the abyss, which is beyond us, but still you don't understand it very well if you're all on one side or the other, because the higher concepts would have somewhat of a polarity about it, and there is something above that, and that's number 1, of course. And then there's the negative vels above number one. So there's even what's beyond that, but the closest we can get to a beginning is with number one. And then the archetypes, your archetype can't be all mercy or all strength. And then your energy of you can't be all feeling, and it can't be all intellectual. Nobody's so feminine that they can be all feminine energy. That's out of balance. Get to know your masculine energies. Maybe do your birth chart. That might help you find some of your masculine energies. You can't just have all feminine energies in your birth chart, can you? If it's that big of a struggle. But some people, we all know people that are all logical and all. It's like, no, add some feeling, add some emotion. That's out of balance. You know what I mean? And then when we do number 9 and number 10, those aren't polarities. It's 9 and then below it number 10. 10 is manifest form. So that's what we'll do after that. But those aren't polarities, Those are just more components that needs to happen. So anyway, so that's what this is about. How you can use the Qabalah to help with your own mental health, and how you see things and identify with things and live your life and take care of yourself.